Hi and welcome to my video on personalities. If you just take a minute just to read what different people say about personalities, once you've read them it might be worth just having a look down here, saying that all of these three people do agree that personality is unique to the individual. It is stable and enduring but can be modified to adapt different situations. So we think about why we need to know this for A-level PE. One of the main reasons is the type of sport that we play, or maybe the position that we do play in that particular sport, can be very closely linked to personality. So just take a moment, maybe pause that and just have a quick read. Okay, so we're going to look at the three learning theories that we need to know for the A-level. Okay, I'm going to start off with the trait theory, and this suggests that personality is innate and that personality is relatively stable. There are highly consistent attributes that exert a widely generalized casual effect on behavior. For example, what they're suggesting is rather outgoing, you could be aggressive, tense, shy, relaxed, sensitive, etc. I mean, they're the things that are innate with us. We can't change them. That's just the type of person we are. The trait theory does not believe that the situation or the environment has any bearing on a person's behavior. So just take a moment to think about that. The trait theory suggests that behaviour is said to be consistent, and the trait theory attempts to predict behaviour. So if you just have a look down here on the trait theory, I'm just going to flick on a couple of slides to maybe just talk a bit more on this one. Okay, so we'll have a look at the first trait theory, and the first one talks about extrovert and introvert, and stable and unstable personalities. So an extrovert is a person who seeks social situation and likes excitement but lacks any concentration. They tend to be outgoing and suit team games. So if you think about anyone in your team, if you do play any team sports, have you got any extroverts in there? Because it is suggesting that extroverts do suit team sports, and they're also affiliated with confident people. Moving over to the introvert personality, okay, a person does not seek social situations but likes peace and quiet and is good at concentrating. So again, think about that personality and what sport they might best suited to. So the example they've given up here is the rock climber. On their own, likes to be on their own, inward focused, likes individual sports, and lacks confidence and doesn't like social groups. Absolutely fine as a personality, but maybe we've got to start thinking about what sport they would prefer to play or do compared to the extrovert, who seems to be more geared towards playing in the team sports. We come over here to the stable personalities. Okay, so stable talks about someone who does not swing from one emotion to the other. It's usually very consistent in their emotional behaviour, so you know exactly what you're going to get. I'm sure we all know somebody that has just got a solid personality. We know exactly what they're going to be on every single day. They are calm and they're relaxed, low in anxiety, they're realistic. Okay, so have a think about, do you know anybody personally or someone in the professional world that has a stable personality? Coming over finally to the unstable personality, these people are highly anxious and unpredictable emotions. You don't know what they're going to get. Big mood swings. Okay, they tend to worry, the high anxiety, unrealistic. And again, start thinking about what type of sports performer would link to that and how that could maybe affect sports performance, moving things forward. Now, we're still on the trait theories, but then we have this other theory. Okay, so it's the other explanation of how the trait theory works. Now, we think about it as a narrowband approach. Okay, our personalities, it's either A or we are B. Now, remember, this is still the trait theory, okay, but it's just a different theory. It's called the narrowband approach. So if we look down type A, okay, tends to be highly aroused, prone to excessive anxiety, impatient, works fast, ambitious, is aggressive, highly competitive, likes control of situations. So, for example, and again, remember, we've got to give sporting examples all the way through, a coach with a type A personality may dispute a referee's judgment or decision. Okay, so think about this: aggressive. A for aggressive, possibly. A for aggression, ambitious, anxiety. Okay, so type A, very highly strung, very competitive. Okay, then we move over to type B. Okay, where we've got the other end of the spectrum. We've got the able to control arousal, keep arousal low, relax, subdue anxiety, patient with themselves and others, cool under pressure, passive, less competitive than type A. And again, they've given an example. For example, an athlete with a type B personality characteristic is able to stay relaxed before a major event. Okay, so for me, that sounds like a fantastic leader, being able to stay calm in situations. Okay, not giving too much away. Okay, so we just move on to a few examples now. And if you think about the Manchester United manager and start thinking about where he fits into the type A characteristics or the type B characteristics, so think about type A, highly competitive, strong desire to succeed, works fast, likes to be in control, and prone to suffer stress. So that'd be looking at the Narrowband Approach. Okay, then we're looking over here, maybe a type B characteristic, non-competitive, unambitious, works slowly, does not enjoy being in control, and less prone to stress. Again, so I'm just giving an example possibly of someone on a nice stroll along the beach. Okay, so we've looked at the trait theory, and we understand now it's inherited, it's genetic, it's predetermined, okay, and it's what it's suggesting is that we can't change it, okay. So if you believe this theory, it's what we are, we're all going to grow into our parents, it's genetic, okay. The environment has nothing to do with changing our personality. So we've got to have a look at the two others that is suggested for the A-level PE, okay, and the first one is the social learning theory, okay. This comes from copying and being reinforced by, again, sort of some influential people, suggesting that our personality comes about by us copying the behaviour of other people. Okay, it's suggesting we're not born with any type of personality, we pick it up from people that we know. Now, these people could be parents, coaches, role models, friends, and other significant to that individual. Now, if you looked at a group of friends, okay, maybe some at school that you've got, or even if you're older, have a look at your group of friends, and have you picked up the same personality as your friends, or maybe some of your coaches or your parents? So it's really interesting to sort of suggest that when we are born, okay, we don't have a personality and we pick it up as we go along. The behaviour changes depending on the situation, is therefore a product of our interaction with the environment. So again, we can change our personality depending on the environment that we are about to go into. And then finally, we're going to go onto the interactionist theory. Okay, so this is a mixture of both. Okay, this approach recognises that trait theory and social learning theory both have a role in determining behaviour and personality. It offers a more realistic explanation of personality, explaining how different behaviours are produced for different situations. It suggests that we are based our behaviour on inherent traits that we can adapt to the situation that we are in. So if we take this as an example, it's suggesting that we are given our personality by genetics. So you might be an aggressive person by nature. It's the way we are. It's made up in our DNA. However, we might be aggressive, but in a social situation, we can keep ourselves fairly calm. Maybe in an exam, or maybe going to the cinema and watching a film, we can adapt our personality to meet the environment. Again, it could be the other way around. I know some people that are very quiet, maybe come across as unambitious, okay, and taking things very slowly and very calmly, but you put them on the sports field and they become aggressive, they become anxious, and they have a high desire to succeed. Again, this backs up the interactionist theory. So within your exam, okay, you'll be asked to compare and contrast the three theories, okay, and it's up to you to make your mind up which one you believe in the most, okay, but make sure you've got the understanding of all three. Thanks.